to have you back once again on this edition of ET Insight right here on ET Now. India needs massive investment in its roads and infrastructure to accommodate its growing transport needs. But projects in this sector are reeling under and facing various difficulties in land acquisition, red tapeism, and of course the age-old bureaucracy. So is 20 kilometers of roads and highways a day a tad too ambitious? That's the question C.P. Joshi, the Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways, answers in this exclusive chat.
2014 we'll able to have 20 kilometer per day. So the train is on right direction. Now whatever the bid we have, we are getting premium. Initially we had an VGF to 40%, but now the competition is such that we are getting premium. So this trend indicates that we'll able to achieve this target.
By 2014 you'll be able to build 20 kilometers of road per day.
Per day.
How much are you building right now every day?
I said 5,000 kilometers we are doing in NHA, but few states are also constructing. So roughly it comes out to be more than 10 kilometers per day.
The empowered group of ministers has scaled down the target for award of national highway projects from about 11,000 to 7,300. Why has that happened?
It's not scaling down. You just see the train. In 2006, 7, 7, 8, but for the economic meltdown, we could not award 1,000 kilometers.
That's right.
Then onwards in 9, it was roughly 3,000 kilometers. In 10 and 11, it was 5,000 kilometers. Now we intend to have 7,000 kilometers. So now you can say that we have come out with the realistic target. So it is not scaling down it. Looking to the past performance, we have come out with the realistic target.
So what are some of the key challenges before your ministry and also perhaps before NHAI when you go out there and build these highways and roads?
One of the important things that the concessionaire should have a confidence that we will have a fair bidding process.
That's right.
In order to address this issue, we have initiated the concept of e-procurement and e-tendering. So another 6 months or so, every tender will be by e-tendering process and e-procurement process. So all these things will give them a confidence.
How do you plan to address the arbitration issues that are still in the court?
We have come out with the solution for resolving the issue of arbitration. Just now the EGM has given us permission how to negotiate with the arbitration. I hope that by accepting the BK through the recommendation, we will able to resolve large number of arbitration issues.
Land acquisition has also been a bit of a trouble, especially in certain states. How much of a resistance do you see when you go out there, you want to build roads, but land becomes a problem?
We do agree that land acquisition is always a problem, but we have the lucrative compensation process. So by addressing this issue, the farmers are convinced that it is for the national interest. If they are getting a good compensation, they will agree to it. So by and large, you are seeing that except the few patches, the farmers are voluntarily coming out with it.
There is another issue that remains upon, the build, operate, transfer model or the annuity model. A lot of experts believe this adds on to the excess burden that the government already has. And which is why perhaps, you're looking at revising the EPC norms and all of that. Could you take us through some of those details here?
Yes, we have some certain problems. But once the confidence is there that we are building good quality of road, everyone knows it that you require infrastructure for development of economy. So I think that these issues we are addressing from this point of view.
When you came into this ministry, a lot of people were very jittery because, you were a new person to the sector. Have the challenges outnumbered the achievements?
You ask those people who have the perception.
But what about you? Have you personally thought this is a tough task for anybody to do? Considering infrastructure is such an important issue.
No, I feel a challenge to me, but simultaneously I feel concerned that at least my leader has given faith to me to contribute something in economic development of the country.
There is this big debate that how security is being marred cheaper projects, to bring costs, security is being perhaps compromised with. How would you want to address that issue?
I said we had a meeting, a workshop. I said you have to identify certain structure. You should not compromise on this. We should have an inbuilt design available with us. So for those designs, we should not compromising. So once we address this issue, then I think that we will not compromise on the safety.
So NHAI has been headless for a long time now. Your secretary is in fact looking at it as an additional charge. By when does one see appointment in that post? And you have been in favor of technocrats coming in.
I said it is not headless. We have secretary. But
you would want a dedicated resource there.
I am thinking, we are yet to have this issue to be resolved at the highest level, but I am thinking, why we restrict the eligibility of NHAI chairman to only secretary? Why can't we think to give this space to technocrat also? You just have Mr. Sridharan, who has built up this metro in the country.
That's right.
If you can identify someone technocrat committed to these things, that will be an additional feather in our cap. So we are exploring these possibilities. Then I have to talk to the PM Saab, then we have to have rules amendment.
That's
so those
right.
issues we are addressing it. The moment we address it, then we'll have full-time.
That's true. Have there been times in your career where you've been out on a road and you've thought, why can the minister not do anything about roads like these?
Not me. Every citizen will always dream that you should have good roads.
That's right.
So that experience one has is when I was a student, when I was a citizen, when I was a politician or no politicians. But everyone always think that you should have good roads. Good roads always contribute to the development of the country.
With that, it's a wrap here on this edition of ET Inside, but do keep sending us your feedback and suggestions. And thanks very much for being with us on the show today.